Hello and welcome to TV Chef Fantasy League. I'm your host and commissioner, Sierra Kato, here with my co-host, Mike Kebalon and Ify.
Yo,
And
yo.
we've all got
Ooh,
different things going on in our lives. I'm in a hotel room. Sierra's got a
sweet.
haircut.
I got a
Yeah.
haircut.
And yeah, I'm just at home washing clothes, eating next day oats or whatever they're called.
Ooh, oh
I
yeah, overnight.
recently had an epiphany about overnight oats where I
Mhm.
I tried buying the Trader Joe's because it was like pumpkin flavored, or I was like, I'll give it a shot. And I ate it, and it made me so sad that I was like, I don't think I've ever enjoyed overnight oats in my life. And I like oatmeal, but overnight oats just depress me. It's a cold slop for
Mm.
breakfast.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I feel that. I like a warm breakfast. I'll do so what's the benefits? It's supposed to be it's a little less what is the benefits of overnight oats?
Like I like
A little
less
better?
labor intensive, I guess. It's a grab and go
Okay.
option. You can just pull it out of the fridge and you've got breakfast. But I'm like, I don't know, man, it's not worth it.
Sure. Yeah, you know what I always loved is those little oatmeal packets when they have the little bits of dried apple in it and then they get a little reconstituted.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Now we're
fun.
talking. Yeah.
So maybe, yeah, if those are in there and aren't too cold. But yeah, I think
And
a
I think
cold
if you
breakfast
top
for
an
me.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you top an overnight oat with like fresh almonds or something to make it not feel like cold slop, then like sure. But for the most part, I'm like, I can't.
Fair. Well, Iffy, did you put any toppings in there or are you doing it straight?
Well, this was like one of the mix that we found. We went up to Mammoth this weekend to try and go to opening day, but it was pushed back because it didn't snow. It rained instead. So we just
Oh,
had,
Oof, yeah.
gross.
but it like Mammoth, I just enjoy because it's like a perfect home away from home. Like it's only like a 5 hour drive, but it feels like you're in a whole different state
Sure.
Hmm.
because it's like such a mountain town. So it was still fun, but didn't get to shred.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Wait, how
More
does
of
that tie
a
into the breakfast?
Oh,
okay. Yeah, I
yeah,
forgot.
Like, cool story, but
yeah. We went up to there's a grocery outlet up there, and they have these like overnight oat kits, and we were like, oh yeah, we'll try them, and they're
Oh.
great. But
okay,
Oh,
actually, I
great.
nice.
realized we got this at Costco for this trip, and that's why we made it. So
Lovely.
yeah,
Well,
Love to hear it.
well, well, now on that
yeah. I
note,
can tell how
we'll
engaged everyone is. That felt like it
Really?
was really worth telling that
sure.
story with the excitement and the way
Yeah.
people
No,
really digested that.
it's my fault. I
If
asked
we
about
hadn't
toppings.
already lost listeners because Bake Off ended, that we've certainly now lost the rest of them because we're
Oh
simply
no.
talking about oatmeal from Costco.
But Bake Off hasn't ended, folks, because you voted and we listened, and we're going to keep going with Bake Off. But we decided to go with a past season or whatever. That was the deal. An old
Yeah.
season of either Top Chef or Bake Off. We've chosen Bake
Uh-huh.
Off to kind of keep that
Uh-huh.
train going. And we went all the way back in time to Collection 5 because it's the first one available on US Netflix. It's also season 8, probably in the UK. I think or sorry, series 8 is what they call it.
Yeah.
No, I wait.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, you're right. You're right. Sorry. I always
I
get
assume.
confused. Yeah, no. It's America has the lower numbers because we quote unquote do not have as many seasons as they do. I don't know why it's not a one
Lovely.
for one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's it's very confusing. And as I was trying to both look stuff up without seeing any spoilers, it kept giving me the opposite one. It was like, you mean collection 8 or season 5 or whatever, series
Right.
5? It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
no. But yes, so for those of you who don't, yeah, it was also 2017, I guess. So
Hmm.
that's the equal, in the time of our people's calendar, at least that has stayed the same. Okay, so
And it does seem
this
to
is,
be, I mean, gathering from context, I didn't do any Googling for it.
sure.
I think this is, well, they definitely said it's Prue's first season, so that's fun.
Yeah.
After
It's also
Mary Berry.
Yeah.
Knowles
Yes, Noel and Sandy's first
and Sandy's.
season
Yeah.
together. Yeah.
Cool.
That's
Yeah. So
that's
It's a
that's
that's
lot of,
fun.
yeah.
historical. So yeah, Sandy Toksvig is no Allison yet. So this is pre-Allison times. Sandy Toksvig is the Allison of the season. And she had kind of left at some point, and I found some Reddit thread where they were like, she didn't even watch the show, or like she was like happy to leave. Let's see.
Oh,
It was sort of
shit.
like were the longest years of my life.
Oh shit.
Toksvig says with a sigh. This is like some clip interview of an article.
How could you possibly like think this is like a labor of a job? This seems like the best job on television.
I don't know. Yeah, it's like, aren't you just pretty short hours? No, I mean, I'm sure long hours, but at least paid well and having fun and then
Paid well
done.
to like do bits and eat cake. Like that is
Yeah.
if you ask me to describe my dream job, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said, it's not for me. I walked away from the biggest paycheck of my life, but that's fine. I never watched it. I still haven't watched it. I didn't understand it. Cakes are readily available in the shops. That's such a funny
Sandy.
way
Wow.
to say
Wow.
that. Cakes, why would you ever bake a cake when you can just buy one in the store?
Yeah.
No, thank
That's
you.
funny. Okay, sorry. I just wanted to look that up. I don't know much else about that drama, but I thought it was funny. And then, all of us haven't seen this season, correct? I know
Yeah.
we're
No, I
coming in
haven't.
I
all. Uh-huh.
I haven't, but as soon as all the faces came on screen, I was like, well, the only one I recognize is Liam. So I kind of, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So for those of you who are listening, I don't know who's listening for the first time. We're only doing this because you voted on us doing an old season of Bake Off. So here we are doing an old season of Bake Off. I can't imagine you're new to the show. But Liam hosts the kids, the Great British Children's Bake Off, or whatever that version is
Oh,
called. So I'm
okay.
like, well,
Cute.
that's if he's I can't imagine there's a world in which he did not win his own season, but still got chosen to host the kids spinoff. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. So that's what you're thinking. Yeah, I mean he's young here, so that works. It's like he's 19,
Hmm.
youngest contestant, so also fits that well. Not has barely not been a kid.
Yeah,
Um,
has a cute little baby face.
yeah,
As soon as I saw his face, I was like, "Is that baby Liam?" And sure enough,
his baby Liam. Okay, very exciting. So we'll keep our eyes on Liam. And so let's see. Oh yeah. So basically the way we're doing this is Val geniusly did a kind of random draft so that we could all get a team going without, being biased about
spoiling it.
actual, recognizing Liam or any of that. So here's the teams. Mike, you have Tom, Sophie, Kate, and Liam. Very
Yes, yes, I
exciting.
do.
Iffy, you have Julia, Stacy, Flo, and Yan.
Mm.
And I have James. That was a mix. And I have James, Peter, Chris, and Steven. All
Okay, wait, Iffy, what was that reaction?
standard
How are you feeling
men
about that team?
names. Oh yeah.
We'll see. I'm
Okay. Okay.
not trying
Yeah.
to call it too early. I just think my confidence isn't that high. So
Wow. Okay.
Sure.
yeah,
I I I love my team. I mean, like I'm glad that I got Liam, but it seems like my people did really well this season. Sierra, I'm excuse me, jealous that you got Steven because Steven got like the perfect, I mean, we'll talk about it, but had like the
yeah,
perfect cake.
Okay. Yeah, he did super well. My other guys are okay, varying.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but Flo is cool. Iffy, I feel like Flo had we'll get into it, but had a
yeah.
pretty great
Oh yeah,
entry.
Flo seems like she's on an interesting role. But you like we said, and if we're drafting Sierra, definitely wouldn't have drafted Flo. We know how she feels about
Wow.
old people.
Old, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Old
yeah. Yeah,
ageist Sierra.
cons, old.
Follows
You
me
know,
everywhere.
yeah. But yeah, no, this team, just yeah, I'm just curious to see where it goes. That's all. I'm not
Sure,
gonna.
sure.
There is like a bit of beauty and comfort in us not having drafted these teams. I'm like, look, this was assigned to me by the gods, and
Yeah,
whatever happens, may it happen. I'm not reaping what I'm sowing. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Sure. Yeah. There's a bit of an acceptance to it. And it's like, you don't necessarily, I don't know, we don't have to ourselves to blame
Right.
if it goes awry. But yeah, so pretty exciting. I feel like, despite this being 8 years ago, it looks all pretty much the same. They're still in a
Is that,
tent.
oh my God, that is a
Isn't that
terrifying
crazy?
sense when you put it that way, that 2017 was 8 years
I
ago. It
know.
does
I
feel like it's
know.
supposed to be 3 years ago. You know what I
I
mean?
Exactly.
know.
I know. Horrible, horrible. But yes, 8 years ago, they still have their tent. They still, I mean, one thing we commented on, a lot of points were had, as we'll get into, but like a
Hmm.
lot of our point system seems to be evergreen. So well done.
Yeah, still
Um,
works.
so yeah, so let's get into it. Let's kind of look at this. Let's start out. Well, okay. Actually, there was a sketch. I honestly had no idea what was going on, but I know there's a hot air balloon. And
Yeah.
then I was like, it was like a lot of new information to take in. And also for the
Yeah.
listeners, for Pots and Pans, we kind of made this decision rather recently. So we're coming in like new faces. Like we didn't do a lot of studying before this. We didn't really know what we were going to, which collection and or series we were going to do. So this was a lot of new information all at once. So
Yeah.
forgive me.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a hot air balloon and everybody, and there's, new again. Sandi is new to us, but everybody else is the same. Um, and they kind of enter in the same, they're sort of the same music and beats. But we start with the signature challenge as usual. In this challenge, it was make a family size fruity cake with fresh fruit and no dried fruit allowed.
You got
Sorry.
it. Yeah. Dried
That's what
fruit.
it. That's what it
Yeah.
is. Dried fruit.
Dried fruit. Fruit.
So
Fruit
So
is
yeah,
on fire.
perfect. We'll start with James.
And
Okay,
we're
I'm back
back.
in. Hello, YouTube audience. Okay. All right. Let's start with James. He did his orange rhubarb and ginger crumble cake. James is sort of this finance guy, and they showed him gardening with his dad. So
Cute.
he's got a professional and a personal life.
Brought the
Um,
rhubarb from home, right?
oh, did he say that? Okay, well, that's why the
Oh yeah,
gardening happened.
from
Okay,
his garden.
perfect. Ingredients from home. We will add that in. So he gets half a point for that. And, we have known, I mean, at this point, they don't know this, but as we knew from Ian in this recent season, rhubarb does well for the judges. So
Always.
maybe James set that in motion. They looked at his cake. They said it looked rustic, but it was mud in the middle.
It's brutal.
I think he forgot to, juice it a little before whatever you got to do, dry it out, and then
Yeah.
got too much. But a lot of people had that problem. Let's go on to Stacy. So Stacy did her Granny Smith apple and walnut cake. So she's the one who I guess they showed her sons. She also kind of had a similar problem with her cake. Apple sunk a little in the middle. They said something like, I'm not convinced the whole thing together works, which is not the
Was
best.
this okay? I know that Stacey started over multiple times this episode. Was it on this, or did she only begin to start over during the technical?
She definitely did in the technical, so she'll get
Okay,
points
okay.
then. But
Yeah,
maybe she
yeah.
did here too.
She
Was
looked so,
stressed.
her face was so defeated the whole episode. You know what I mean?
She
Yeah.
was very she kind of, I think, wasn't handling the stress, in a way that, or
It's hard.
she was very like open about it, which you can appreciate because
Yeah.
it makes for good TV.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is hard. Liam, baby Liam, he's 19-year-old. He's a student. He's the youngest baker. And let's see, he made his apple and almond crumble maple loaf. Oh,
And in his opening package, they showed him hanging out with his nephews. And so immediately it
cute.
was like, well, good. He's good with kids. Got it.
Right. This is his audition for hosting
Yeah.
a junior bake off.
Yeah.
Cute. Yeah. Actually, I did a little baking recently, and I made a maple cake. We had
Oh,
some maple syrup that we wanted to use, and my friend had like hosted like a full desserts thing, and they're vegan, so I made a vegan maple cake. Not
was
bad.
it garbage or was it good?
No, it was fine because the only probably thing they had you substitute was like buttermilk, but you can make buttermilk vegan with oat milk and apple cider vinegar,
Oh,
which I guess is
interesting.
kind of how you make regular buttermilk, but with regular milk to kind of curdle it a little bit.
Yeah,
So it's a
yeah.
little
So
thicker.
no eggs, no butter.
No eggs, no butter.
Wow.
Some
Okay.
oil, canola oil. But yeah.
If we're talking personal stuff, I forgot to mention this up top because I am in the city of Chicago. I did eat at Monteverde last night, which is
Oh, shoot.
Top Chef Bailey's. I don't know if she still works there, but it was also founded by Top Chef Sarah Gruenberg from an even earlier season of Top Chef. It's a Top Chef-y kind of restaurant, and honestly, it was great. Had three different pastas and loved every single one of them. Highly recommend. They don't need the recommendation. They're doing very well. It was a packed restaurant, but for the record, if you're in Chicago, would recommend.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very cool. Did you catch sight of any Bailey sightings?
No, I wanted to. I
Oh,
did walk past. I walked to the bathroom and I peeked my head into the kitchen and I did not see her. And then I had the thought, like, I don't even know if she still works here. That's an easily
That's true.
Googleable fact. Did not bother to Google it. They do have
I
like a
believe she
pasta.
still does because
Okay.
I told her I would come next time I'm in Chicago. So I believe she is still there.
Yeah.
Cool.
Great. Did not see her. But they do have like a pasta making station, which I thought was cool. Like everyone who's sitting around the bar behind the bartenders is just like two people dedicated to just making pasta, which is very cool to see. And they're doing a great job because it was all delicious.
Nice. Shout out. Cool. Yeah, no, but I could see her, because it wasn't her restaurant that she owned, right? She was like the chef de cuisine or something. So I
Right,
think in
right. Yeah.
theory, yeah, she could
She
she
could just
could
move on.
be, yeah, I mean, she's a big star.
Wait,
Okay.
okay, sorry. We can sidetrack. This is an old episode. No one gives a shit about what happened in 2017. I kept forgetting to talk about this over the last couple weeks. We haven't touched on the Padma Melissa rumors
Oh,
yet
yes,
on
No,
this
yes.
show.
Well,
I mean
no, I think
rumors
we
at this
did
point.
before.
I
We
know.
did
Yeah,
we
yeah.
did talk about it once before because I think, unless it was off air, because they did post other stuff and then you were like, but this was around the time when she was dating Melissa, I think was dating Nini, or we thought.
Right,
And then
right.
I was like, whoa, that's crazy because I saw her with Padma, like post pictures on Instagram. This was a while ago. And then now for
Yeah.
Halloween, obviously, they kind of rekindled
In the post
rumors.
Halloween, they've really started to stoke those flames, doing like a couple's costume and doing like cooking videos together.
Right.
And
Okay.
like
Okay.
in one of their cooking videos, they're like making little jokes where it's just like, you're clearly dating. And I wanted to bring it up because I realized we haven't even talked about it on this show
Sure.
yet.
No, totally. Yes. I think definitely a lot of definitely came back for Halloween, and a lot more people are like, wait, what? But I'm like, come
Yeah.
on, we've seen some of this, but yes, maybe it's even more serious now. Maybe before it was kind of a joke, and then now they're like, wait, actually, or maybe it's
Uh-huh,
always
uh-huh.
been for real, and then everybody is treating it like, well, maybe it's just for publicity because they're famous. I don't know, but it
No,
can't be.
I
What?
mean, yeah, I mean, it's because it could have been anyone if it was just for publicity. No, this is the real
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah. And
Holyfield.
like, I feel, and
Yeah.
it's so funny because everybody references the finale of Top Chef where Melissa King won. And like, everybody's like, we never seen Padma that happy in her life.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
anyway,
congrats to them.
I'm rooting for them. I love that. That's my like Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears of 2025. You know what I mean? That's like my ultimate power couple, and I love this for them.
Yes.
True. Yes, it is good to see. There is still love. Amazing. Now,
Okay, sorry.
oh
Back to
yeah,
our 2017 show. I feel
back
like I'm
to
going to
our
do this all season, where I'm just like, why? We don't have to treat this in any sense of urgency. This has already happened. You know what I mean?
right. Yes, it is. It'll be a fun sort of reflection on the past, brighter times. We can always come back to the present. But okay, so Liam, as we discussed, he is young. His apple and almond crumble maple loaf was a bit stodgy and boring, so he didn't hit it too great on the first challenge here. But we'll continue to watch. Okay,
I was bummed by
yeah,
that because I'm like I don't know for sure, but I'm expecting Liam to win. I thought from the get-go he'd be amazing, and he kind of like was firmly middle of the pack this episode. So like this first thing, they're like, "Are you sure
sure,
you want to do loaf?" He's like, "I love a loaf," and the loaf was kind of shitty. I was like, "Oh, well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he doesn't win."
sure. I mean, he does. As we saw, it's like if you come out the gates on fire, it can be bad.
That's
Tom
true. Yeah,
included. No, actually, he made it to the end still. But yes, it is like you do kind of want to slowly ramp
yeah,
up so you're not like too confident or whatever. That can make you
yeah.
complacent rather. Okay. So Julia is next. So Julia, she made her courgette, which is zucchini, which I've never known that that's the French word for zucchini,
Oh,
and
it's the.
lemon cake.
I think it's one of those things where every other country on Earth calls it a courgette, and we're the only ones who call it a zucchini.
Oh,
And I don't
interesting.
really. I'm sure an etymologist is going to write in and tell us why. I have no idea why, but every other country I've been to, if there's like a zucchini bread, it's like a courgette bread, and
Oh,
we're the only ones. I don't know.
yeah, because I feel like I am a little surprised. I feel like a lot of, French words crossed over here at more or whatever we use in more language
Yeah,
than Italian. So, but zucchini is a pretty fun word.
zucchini,
Zucchini. Yeah. So Julia's Russian born. Her hometown was Kemerovo, Siberia.
Siberia.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like it's one of those places you don't think of people being from. You know what I mean? Siberia is
Right.
where we get huskies, not people.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, yes, she kind of like made some jokes about, I feel like it being, she's like, I'm from Siberia, like it's cold or something. Did she say that?
Oh,
Okay. Maybe I made that
they
up.
when they commented on how fat the Russian doll was, she's like, "Well, it's from Siberia."
Oh, okay. Got it. Good. Good to know. Okay. So she also forgot, what, first day jitters, forgot to squeeze the moisture out of those courgettes.
Hmm.
So that caused some issue. And then Noel was like, don't tell anybody. But then she was very honest and she did tell them. And that was kind of funny. And therefore, that made her cake a little bit heavy. But that's Julia for you. Next one was Peter. Peter did his coconut cake. His cool backstory was that he bakes every Sunday for his local church, which is so cute.
Cute,
It's like a
adorable.
lot of bacon. Yeah. He like they could taste the baking powder, like it was very,
Yeah.
which is interesting. I don't know if I would be able to identify that.
I would not.
Yeah. No.
Like how much baking powder
How
did
do
you put in
you,
here?
because Peter and Liam, I think, are the only black bakers this season. How do you feel about having neither of them on your team?
I mean,
Mm.
at first, mad. By this point in the episode, pretty glad. I'm like, okay, yeah,
Let's see
this
how they
is.
bake. Oh,
Oh, ouch. And it's funny because it's kind of in the middle ground where like some of them I'm like, especially with Peter, it's like, yeah, he's taking swings that just aren't landing. And Chris, or Chris is his name, right? Am I messing it up? No.
The other one, Liam?
Yeah, Liam. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Mixed him up with my dad's name. Um,
your
even though he
father is
is
Chris.
definitely Ghanaian. Why? Because he looks just like why, hold on, why am I forgetting his name? He's my
A
friend.
celebrity or
Celebrity. What is he does
Who
all this
does?
stuff with he does all this Robertson Steve?
Rob?
No.
Rob?
Richard,
I don't want
Wait,
to make
who
a
looks
guess
like
and
who?
sound racist for trying to guess who the
Sure, sure.
Ghanaian
You're saying Liam looks
celebrities
like
are,
somebody or Peter?
yeah.
or Peter, or your dad.
No.
Your father. They're both your father.
God, hold on. I'll get this. I'll
Okay,
get
stay
this
tuned.
now.
Stay tuned.
Can't wait for
We can
this.
vamp.
Yes.
Yeah,
Sam
well, I have
Richardson.
Peter. Oh, okay,
Oh,
cool,
say,
cool.
oh,
Liam
okay,
looks like
yeah,
Sam
I see it.
Richardson a little.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I can see it. I can
Ghanaian.
see it.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So yes, yes, I'm glad we got to the bottom of that. But yeah, okay, great. I have Peter. Um, he seemed pretty like okay. Like I was like okay, he's cooks. He bakes every Sunday. Like he's gonna have some good stuff going. I think he just got a little unlucky this episode, but we'll
Yeah.
continue to go back to him. Chris, who I also have, did his tropical fresh fruit cake. He's a software engineer, and they said he's used to using spreadsheets to calculate all his bakes and stuff. And they really hit on Mike your sort of philosophy
Hmm.
always, which is just like baking is very yeah, specific and precise. And so
Always
people,
bet on the smarty pants.
yeah, except for Hassan, who failed me in the first episode of this season, but that's okay. I'll let it go. But yeah, so Chris also is kind of not doing so hot this episode. But no, they actually didn't mind his signature. The sponge was baked perfectly. The texture was a little squashed in the middle, but he did okay on this one.
Hmm.
Next was Yan. Yan did her windfall apple crumble cake. She also falls into this category, biomedical scientist for NHS.
Right, yeah.
And let's see. Oh yeah, she had some first day jitters of the oven wasn't on, didn't know the light and whatever, so that was
Hmm.
annoying. She did restart her cake here though, so she gets half a point for that if you
Okay.
get that point. She threw the first one in the trash because it was a little too soft. Yan also helped Liam at some point. I think she like
Oh, that's
asked
right. Yeah,
him
yeah,
something and was kind of helping him, so she gets a point for that as well.
yeah.
But for her cake in particular, they were like not a lot of flavor, not light, so not the best, I guess. Could be worse.
Could be worse.
Sticking with Iffy's team here, we got Flo next. She did her citrus layer cake. She had an accent where she kept saying lemon curd. What
Yeah.
accent is that? Do we
Cad.
know?
No idea. Couldn't
No,
tell you.
not
Yeah,
yet.
I wasn't sure. Lemon curd feeling. Yes, and they show her big family. But yeah, they just really love the candied fruit on top. She left the lemon curd in the fridge, so she was bummed about that. But they were like, "There's actually enough citrus here. You didn't need it, so that was good because it probably would
He
have maybe
also
overloaded
was
it."
this the one where they were like, you finished early? Like we saw you just kind of
Yeah.
standing around.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Cute. Yeah.
Just
So
vibing, you know?
she's
Yeah, not
pretty
helping
efficient.
anyone, just hanging out.
Yeah, she's not here to make friends.
Wonderful. Next is Tom. So he was the one with the gold leaf thing going on. He did his
A
gilded
whole
pear.
pear on top of the cake. I thought that for sure that was going to be uglier than it was. It worked
Yeah.
out, but like he was like, I'm going to put a whole raw pear on top. I'm like, why? That's going to look like garbage.
Yeah.
He had a vision, and apparently it was good. But I
Yeah.
agree. I was like, I didn't think this would be as good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
also felt that way too. I feel like, let's see. So if he has gotten up and walked away from his
Loves you.
desk. Okay, that's all good. I just thought it was funny. Okay, all good.
I'm
Okay,
waiting for
so
like his if he's like headphones cable is waving around, I'm waiting for it to like whip the
snap.
microphone off the table.
Right. Just bring it all down. But yes, this gilded pear cardamom cake. Oh yeah, cardamom cake. Speaking of Jasmine, that was always her signature. Just linking it back to the present.
Right, right.
But yes, so he added some gold to his cake. He's an architect, sports fanatic. They showed him playing rugby, I think. That's not
And they showed him
that was
playing
what's
rugby,
going
but
on.
they also showed the clip of rugby was him being lifted up by all the other rugby players and catching a ball and
Yeah,
going, "Hooray!"
that's one of the big rugby things is they get your shorts right in your asshole and then lift you into the sky so you can catch the ball. I
Oh
was like, you could just jump.
no, you got to get that hero shot. Yeah, what a
Yeah.
time. That's funny. And then yeah, the judges really liked it. They were like, it looks striking. I think they also were skeptical about the whole pair, but it was overbaked. That seems to be a trend this episode for everybody.
Yeah.
And next is Kate. She did her Moroccan strawberry and rose cake. So they showed her, she was like a blacksmith. She's like out back
That
in
was
her
cool.
shed. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she brought her own stencil that she crafted and blacksmithed. I think that's the verb.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, we haven't really discussed ever like tools you bring from home. And if we get into that, it is a lot more stuff. So what do we think
If,
about? Does that count as ingredient from home?
I don't think so because
Okay.
then we can
Yeah.
really get into like I know it's a different show, but I feel like on Top Chef they specifically bring things from home all the time. I don't want to get into tool territory. I think it's
Okay.
only if you bring an ingredient from home.
Okay, cool. That makes it simpler for me. But also because yeah, later in the episode, Peter brings his like knife mold that he made, so that would add that. So
Yeah, that's
anyway,
right. I
we
forgot.
never
Yeah.
know because a lot of people do have them, but they don't say, so it's just hard. And then it's like, where do you draw the line? Do you have to have made it with your own bare hands, or
Right.
can it be something you bought? So okay, great. But that was cool that she did craft that herself. Very obviously multi-talented. She did
Did not
ask to
use it
borrow.
correctly, but
Yeah, it
sorry.
didn't quite come out well. But yes, she did ask to borrow a sieve, and Sophie was the one who lent it to her, so
Okay.
she gets a
Yeah.
point, Sophie.
Great.
Um, Judges, so they kind of were like, yeah, lost a bit of the stencil, so she didn't use it quite well. But Prue also did say she has a problem with any decor that's not edible. So that
Well,
there's like
joke's on her because Noel ate that whole marigold, put
he
the whole
did,
thing right in his mouth.
there's definitely bugs in there, I'd imagine. Um, and then yeah, and then let's see. Cake is a little rose water. They felt like because it was a fruit and rose cake, but they're like, we only
Right.
got rose.
It's a rose cake.
Rose.
Yeah.
It needs to be fruity. It was more style over substance. Okay, got it. They
She's
still, I
gonna get
guess, said
the
that back
Tom
then.
edit this season. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, they're really love that
Well,
term.
and I thought it was funny that in her very first talking head appearance, Prue was like, "It's got to be worth the calories." I'm like, "Wow, she really stuck with that as one of her catchphrases because that I feel like comes up every
Over
single
time.
season."
That's funny. She's yeah, over time, still got the same idea. Okay. Steven is next. He did his bonfire night cake. He's a marketing exec for his job. His mom was the one who taught him to bake when he was 3, which is cute. He does call her at the end, so has a nice relationship with his mother. Judges, they said it looked delicious. They loved the bonfire toffee flames. It was cool. They kind of had those. That decor was like
Yeah,
pretty
yeah, yeah.
unique. Beautifully baked. Flavor combos were perfect. It was like a little sum up of autumn, Prue said. And he got a handshake.
Handshake
2 points
right out of the
there.
gate,
Mm.
He did say at the end too. He was like, when he put his hand out, I thought he was going to hit me.
which
What
I
is
think speaks
that?
volumes of Paul Hollywood. Equally
Yeah.
as apt to give a compliment as he is to strike.
Oof, scary. Well, Speaking of handshakes, there was another one doled out during the signature challenge to Sophie for her pineapple and coconut sandwich cake. Yeah, they really liked it. The piping was really nice and neat. The texture was lovely. So yeah, basically two handshakes right off the bat on this
Kind of
signature
crazy.
challenge.
I wonder if this is
Yeah.
going to be one of those seasons where I know like there are people who have charted how many handshakes per season,
Yeah,
and there have been a couple seasons where people are like, he's giving them out left and right. And the fact there's two in the first episode, I'm like, this might be one of those seasons.
exactly. Yeah, it is very it was kind of a lot right off the bat. We'll see. We'll see. I wonder if it's gonna make him constrict more later because he's like, oh, I've already given too much, or
Right.
if this is the
Yeah.
way.
Right.
Yeah, maybe he's like, I gotta. People are criticizing my handshakes. It's time to be tough on these handshakes.
Yes, I do think that this set off a little rivalry between Sophie and Steven. Like, not even actually between them, but like the way that they've edited stuff. I'll point something out later, but it's just kind of funny because it's like, ooh, the two who got handshakes, like, they must hate each other now.
Right. All right.
We'll
The two
see.
best in the tent, only one can survive.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to the first technical challenge of this season. So, their challenge is to make 12 chocolate mini rolls with a delicate chocolate sponge, swirl of peppermint buttercream covered in chocolate. And they said, don't worry about leaving a bare bottom, which I guess it would have been a concern if they hadn't said it.
Yeah.
I didn't understand what that meant, but yeah, I guess it's just like the chocolate being over it. They were like, they
Right.
didn't have to
Yeah.
do like
Yeah.
a 360.
Right.
Okay. This one, it was funny to watch them do it. Obviously, the rolling looked really bad. Like some of the
Oh,
rolling
everyone fucked up
was,
the rolling. I was kind of shocked at how difficult.
yeah,
I'm not saying I could do it better, but I'm just like, this is kind of a difficult challenge.
right.
Yeah.
It's like you either
Oh yeah.
score it so you can roll it better. And then also, I guess the saving grace is you're putting chocolate over it in the end. So even if it looks
Right.
pretty bumpy and ugly, like you can cover it up a bit, but even still.
Right.
So yeah. So anyway, not too much. I'll talk about each of these. Well, barely. There's 12, so there's a lot. But Chris was last. That's my guy. He's not doing so well in this one. He had to start over.
Yeah.
Same with Stacy, who was 11th. So both of them actually had to start over, and it did not help them clearly because they probably
Yeah.
fell behind. But they both get half a point for starting over. In 10th was Peter. Oh, yeah, Peter's also mine. So not doing so hot here.
Yeah, you're doing great here.
But his whole thing is he put the white chocolate in with the chocolate, and then that didn't allow him
Yeah.
the white chocolate decoration at the end. And it was funny because they asked him, they're like, "Why did you choose to do chocolate instead of white chocolate?" And he's like, "Well, it was a mistake." Like,
Yeah,
what do you
I
mean?
simply messed up.
Yeah, it was
Not a
not
choice at all.
intentional. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a silly question. Ninth was Flo. Eighth, Liam. Seventh was Tom. Sixth, Stephen. Fifth, Sophie. So Stephen and Sophie, again, very close to each other, but they didn't
Mhm.
place here. Fourth was Yan. And then placing third, Julia. She gets half a point. Second was
Mhm.
James, my finance gardening boy, for
Mhm.
1 point. And then Kate coming in first for a point and a half, which was great because
What?
she, yeah, she made that stencil. That didn't work. So
It's great for me, and I don't need to justify it. She's on my team. It's just great.
excellent. So that brings us to the final challenge, the showstopper challenge. Very exciting. So this challenge was fun. I feel like it's a great one to have on Netflix as the first episode. Make an illusion cake with the same flavor of sponge throughout, and the size and shape has to be, actually to scale. So they're like, don't make a woolly mammoth.
Mhm.
I remember it kind of gave me fond memories of when we were watching that first season we did on the podcast with Georgie, Dylan, those guys.
Right.
They
Yeah.
did one and they had like, I think this was their first one too, maybe, or maybe early on.
Episode one, you mean? Like their
I think-
episode one?
I think so. Their
That would
cake
make sense.
showstopper.
Yeah.
Because I remember they had the sewing machine. Christian did the
Oh,
sewing
that's
machine.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might have been episode one.
Sumaya.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I guess when Sumaya did the duck, that was really cool. So yeah, it's a great one to do just because everybody loves an illusion cake and the is it cake trend, of course,
Sure.
had to come from that. It
I
gave
did
us-
appreciate the specificity to make it to scale because I do like it's so funny that some people bring up something giant and then like Liam, for example, brings up like the teeniest tiniest little cake because it's just a plate of pancakes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Which
I know.
looked amazing. It looked
Oh,
so
yeah.
real.
There's a lot of good
Yeah.
ones. There are a lot
Yeah.
of good
A lot
ones.
of good ones. Yeah, people did a great job. Even the weak ones, I wasn't like that mad about it.
Yeah.
But let's see. Let's start with Yan. So, Yan's was so cool. The banana ramen cake.
Oh, the ramen, so cool.
She used the pasta machine to make her fondant like ramen noodles. But the cool
Hmm.
thing I liked was those salmon, the like salmon
Yeah.
roe that she made mango. It looked crazy, and katsu chicken
Yeah.
with like Rice Krispies and stuff. That was really cool. A lot of components. Um, they called hers a work of art. They liked the banana flavor. The cake was slightly too dry, and that was kind of a common problem
Yeah,
this.
they said that for every single cake. They were all dry. And I'm like, was the air in the tent different this time? Like, why?
Yeah. It's like I guess yeah. Who knows, right? Because nobody was really like underbaked. It was all overbaked. Next is Tom. He did his stack of books. They didn't really think it was detailed enough. I agree. It was a little
Yeah.
plain, simple.
Yeah.
But that actually reminded me of I feel like somebody did stack of books for the last season that we watched. I can't remember who,
Well, I
but
remember Jessica tried to do a dinosaur popping out of a book, and it didn't really come together in the end.
yeah, right. Okay. Or yeah, or even yeah. So it's a good one to try because it is at least rectangular. But yeah, I think doing
Yeah.
something. But yeah, I
It's
did like the
easier.
dinosaur concept.
I feel like stack of books is easier if you're aiming to do something that suggests a stack of books. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, yes, it's a rectangle, it's white on three of those sides, and then you do a cover, and that, like, you look at it and people are like, that's the symbol for book, you know? But
Sure.
to actually get it to look like there are pages and that, like, it is like an openable book is like way, way harder. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the detail required and books are imperfect and like yeah, that's a good point. So yeah, they did love the flavor. Yeah, they at least loved the flavor, so that's good for him there. Let's see. Next was Kate and her chocolate terrarium cake. Didn't go so well. It was obviously a lofty, great idea. I would have loved to see how this would turn out,
Yeah.
but her glass broke at the last minute.
She almost had
And
it. That was the
yeah,
bummers. It was like she was just putting on the roof and then it exploded, and then they're like, and that's time.
yeah, perfect timing there. Yeah, they were nice though. I think they really liked that she took a swing there at least. They said the texture was nice, but they were like shame about the glass though.
Yeah.
But even at the beginning, they were like, this is going to be a lot, so
Hmm.
we'll
Hmm.
see what happens. Next was James. He did his mochaccino and croissant cake. He was funny because he was saying like, well, this is more my normal morning routine, and it's kind of fun bringing my professional life and my personal life together like this. And it's like, is that really that crazy? He was like,
Here's my
wow.
wacky thing that I do in my line of work. I start my day with coffee and a croissant.
Right. He's like, and never before have I let the baking meet my
Yeah.
finance. But yes, so the cup did collapse a little bit, so that was unfortunate. But they liked the flavor again, a bit dry. And then Chris, also mine. Chris did his raised pork pie and egg surprise. So he actually used Paul's savory recipe to kind of build this or something. Was that what they were
Yeah.
joking about? But that's the cake that we saw in the
Yes,
technical, right?
exactly. Yeah, the gala pie or whatever they called it.
Okay, yes, I couldn't think of the name. But yeah, the basically like meat pie rectangle block with egg inside. Disgusting.
It's the most like British construction. We've already covered this ground. We don't need to
Yeah,
rehash it. But yeah, I thought it was funny to be like, I'm gonna make a cake shaped like this very
right.
British kind of food.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you saw this one because it might have been when you were in Australia, but yeah, they basically just the
Right.
meat block with egg inside. He made this. Yeah, yummy. You missed out.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, they kind of were like, it looks a little basic on the outside, which it did, but then they saw the egg in the middle. I feel like it redeemed it.
Hmm.
They liked the almondy flavor. The texture was just too dense. But I'm also like, it's a meat pie. It's supposed to be dense. I don't know.
Right.
But as
Yeah,
a
it should
cake,
be
I guess not.
dense. Yeah.
It's a full experience. Okay, Flo. Everybody loves Flo and her watermelon cake. One in a melon. Good
Cute.
name. So she basically made a full spherical watermelon. And even though she doesn't even like melon, apparently, which is funny to say,
Yeah.
but they looked at it, they were like, wow. They took a slice. It was like so bright red or rich red in the middle.
Yeah.
The sponge was spot on. They loved the color, chocolate kind of. They didn't get it like they got the watermelon flavor, but it was kind of more chocolate dominated. But they actually were not mad about that. They loved that.
I feel like I would feel the same way. I don't necessarily want a watermelon flavored cake that feels too
Yeah.
unnatural, but just like a chocolate cake that's in the shape of watermelon. When you cut into the watermelon, it's red on the inside. I'm like, this is so clever all around. I love it.
And they had the rind. She had like the white rind too, so it made it look
Yeah.
really real. I remember one of my friends had a like her parent or whatever her parents had in their kitchen like this watermelon bowl, which basically just it was just like a decorative fruit bowl or something, but it basically was like a bowl with watermelon skin on the outside, and then it had like a rind, and it was like as if you scooped out a watermelon and like had it as a
Oh, that's
bowl.
cute.
And I always
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
go over and look at that bowl. Okay.
How big are we talking? Like a big like serving a salad kind of bowl or like a cereal bowl?
I think it was a good size of like it could be a watermelon size. So I feel like it was in between.
Oh,
It wasn't huge, but it was like more
sure.
like a mixing bowl, maybe medium.
Oh, that's fun. I love
Yeah,
that.
good bowl. Paul said, "I love you, Flo." Love you. We don't have any points for that, but maybe we should.
We should.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah.
feels like a rarity. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Thirsty.
Um,
Thirsty Paul points.
Thirsty
ooh,
Paul points.
yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
Making
relax, dog. Relax. You at work.
Paul back off. Yeah. Oh my God. There are
I love
cameras.
you.
Oh, Julia did a Russian doll cake. This was cool because she
Mhm.
also had the Russian doll inside, which is great.
Really clever. Yeah.
She did at some point when she was putting the fondant on say, my hands are so shaky. So she gets half a point for that.
Right. That's right. Yeah, yeah.
Love that.
Someone else did too, right?
So,
Someone else has shaky hands points.
well, I think I might only have
Okay.
her. I don't know.
Well,
Well,
someone else said it. I don't remember who, but I'm sure one of our great Potter pans will catch it.
yeah, if they want to revisit and rewatch with us, which you are totally welcome to do, we would love rewatchers. I mean, who's seen this one in within the last 7 years? Probably not.
No.
So yeah, go ahead, go back and watch it with us. Collection 5, aka Series 8, and yeah, let us know if we mess up because you know I do. You know I messed up almost every episode last
She'd be messing
season.
up left and right.
So yeah, so we'll find out who else shaking their hands. It is funny because with the scoring, it's like there's the Paul handshake and then there's the shaky hand. So we got to make sure keep those separate.
Two distinct things. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the judges really liked her. They liked the concept. I think they said there was a little plain. Cake was a little plain and dry, but whose wasn't? Okay. Next is Peter. Oh, Peter. Poor Peter. He did his bread on a breadboard cake, which I thought was gonna like
Wait,
concept wise.
what do you mean, poor Peter? Yeah, wasn't that one of the good ones? I'm so new to these
No,
characters, I don't remember.
no, Peter's not. Peter didn't do well.
Oh,
I don't not to
okay.
spoil it, but he's
And I'm
go
picturing
through.
the
Okay.
sandwich. No, the sandwich was Steven, right?
Oh yes, I know. Well, the funny thing
Oh,
too is
okay.
like I have both Peter and Steven, but yes, I was noticing I have like James, Peter, Steven, and Chris, like all the very like classic
Four
male
guys.
names. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it is easy to mix them up for sure. But Peter, no, Peter's the one who he made his own knife mold and then it snapped at the end, right? And it
Oh,
looked
right.
all
The broken knife.
yeah. Does this count as bringing? Oh, yeah, no, yeah. We're not going to
No,
say
no
that's his own
tools.
ingredient, so we're good on that.
Right.
Um, yeah, it broke and it was sad because it was like I don't know. It was almost like a little bit of a chilly, office chilly moment for where it's like, he was like, I brought this knife
Yeah.
mold, I made it myself, and then he's making the knife, and we're like, yeah, yeah, and then he's like, it snaps, and he's like, oh, I think I can salvage it, and it's like, oh
Yeah, you can
God, I
glue it
don't
back
know,
together. Yeah,
yeah,
no.
and then we see
Yeah.
it, and it's all bent, and it's like, oh, it doesn't quite look like a knife, but yeah, so the judges were sort of like, it's a little simplistic, the concept, pity about the knife, beautiful flavor, too dry. Add it
Yeah. A
to the
lot of dry
bin.
cakes.
I
There were so many
know.
Oh,
dry.
yeah. Yeah. All of them are dry.
Yeah, dry day. Stacy though, also bad. Also not great, sorry. She did her black evening clutch bag cake. Yeah, they were kind of confused about the decoration. They were like, it looks more like a decorated cake than a handbag. Delicious but sticky, but and rich. But I don't know. I
Not
looked at
dry.
it. Not dry. That's true. A rare
One of
non-dry.
the
I
only
thought
ones
that
that wasn't dry.
yeah, I thought that would save her. I mean, the one thing though that I was thinking is like it looked like it could be a handbag though. Like it's like it depends on the handbag, right? Like
It
some
depends on the
handbags
handbag.
look like cake.
I feel like if
So
she had included a little like a photo of the actual handbag, she's like, "Look, this is the handbag I have at home."
yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like brought that handbag and put it next to it. Is it cake
Oh,
style?
that's a good
You know?
idea. Yeah, they cut into the handbag. Oh my God, I had no idea. Yes, I think that, or like if they added like if she added like a chain to it, not a real chain, but some sort of version
Right,
to be
right.
like, oh, it's got something other than the shape of the clutch
Or I
itself.
guess it's just like if you're gonna do a handbag, you have to pick one of the iconic silhouettes. You know what I mean?
Right, right. Yeah,
Not
I
just
wonder if
like
the
a
problem. Mhm.
handbag. It's got to be the like you got to do a Birkin or like the classic like Gucci shape or whatever, you know?
Sure, sure. Yeah, or do some branding,
Yeah.
do some initials on it. But yes, so that was a bummer. She was pretty disappointed. Obviously, she's been a bit stressed the whole episode, and we got to see
Yeah.
more of that. Next was Sophie. So obviously Sophie's one of our front runners here. She did the champagne bucket and bottle cake. Oh, this looked great. And with
Looks great.
the
The
isomalt
ice,
ice
the little chocolate dick that became the top of the champagne bottle.
that she had to mold into the champagne bottle.
Uh-huh.
Yes, that was a good. That's some of the awkward moments that turn into beautiful cakes. But yes, so she brought this cake. Oh yeah, she said she brought this cake into a bar for her like friend's birthday or whatever, and the bouncer was like, you can't bring in champagne," and she was
Got
like,
him.
this is cake."
That bouncer
Yeah,
got.
yeah, yeah. Uh, so that was a good sign. But yeah, they were like, "It looks amazing, surprisingly dry." Shit, yeah, they didn't like that. They're like, "It's surprisingly dry, and the ganache makes it even drier." Damn.
I've never heard of
Um,
ganache making a cake drier. The ganache should add some richness and moisture to the equation.
Yeah, is that a dry ganache or something? Like the ganache was
Yeah,
kind of made
gross.
weird, but the chocolate flavor was nice. But yeah, I feel like just the fact that hers actually looked cool, looked really like the thing, was putting her over the edge. And then next was Steven, another strong front runner here, a baker's lunch cake. So he did a loaf of bread and a BLT sandwich together. So right, yeah, his was kind of like Peter's, but
That's
a little
this. Yeah,
more.
this is what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah, so he did. Yeah, they thought it was stunning, perfect. It was fun to kind of see him put the lettuce together, and he had like a little paint thing to make it
Yeah.
look good. The bacon, um, and at the end, it looked like he was about to cry, but he doesn't cry till later. But they did a thing where they kind of okay. So when he was standing up there, I think this happened. They like focused on him, and then they focused on Sophie in the back,
Yeah, they did
and
the
he was
rack
blurry.
zoom.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, what was that all about? It felt really
Or
weird because it
focus track, I mean. Yeah, yeah,
okay, yeah. I didn't know what that was for. I mean, I think it was for the rivalry, but I'm like, they didn't say anything like better than Sophie's or like Sophie. They
yeah.
didn't cut to Sophie being like, "Oh, Steven," you know? So,
I want to believe it was just one of those things where the director's like, this looks cool. Like it could have been anyone standing back there. They're just like, just rack focus. We just want to show other people watching the judging. But I'm like, the fact that they are the two, you know, like kind of front runners is a little bit like
right.
it does feel like they're setting up a rivalry.
Yeah, yeah. So that was funny, but it does feel a little like it does feel a little forced at this point. But we'll see. Maybe it will. Maybe there's a
We'll see.
reason down the line. Okay,
I
and
did think he
finally,
was
oh
going to
yeah.
get. I don't think anyone's ever gotten two handshakes in one episode, but I was.
Oh,
It was
sure.
so good. Like Paul had no feedback. He's like, it's good. It looks cool. It tastes good. It's well baked. And I was like, for sure he should have gotten a handshake. But maybe he's like, look, you already got one. You don't need two in one
Yeah.
episode.
Well, I got the impression he wasn't handing out handshakes in this, showstopper because Flo's was so good. And he was just like, I
Right.
love
Right.
you. But like that was his
Yeah.
version, maybe. But he didn't say, I love you, Steven. So interesting. Okay. Liam, though, Stack and Sunday. Okay. Yeah. His pancakes one. So cool.
So cute. Loved it.
Yeah. And it was small, but it was like perfect because that was true to size.
Mm.
Um, Looked delicious. Prue said, I want to come to yours for breakfast. And everybody laughed.
I don't know why that was such a big joke.
I think because was Paul interpreting it as like, oh, she wants to like stay over at yours and eat
I
breakfast.
guess, but I'm like, what a weird thing to pounce on.
Right. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah. Or she could just go over for breakfast.
Yeah, that's
Like
fine. That's a
lunch.
normal
Yeah.
thing that people do. Yeah.
Hmm. But yeah, really looked good. The banana cake was beautiful, they said. So yeah, Liam was like a little bit in trouble there earlier. So it's all good now. As they said, they
Hmm.
were like, he really saved himself with the showstopper. So yeah, before we get into these deliberations, any thoughts on these new bakers we've all met today? All a dozen of them?
I this is just a technical thing. Iffy, before we go any further, are you having problems with your camera?
I'm having problems with the whole computer, so
Cool.
I'm just going to finish this out because we're definitely going to have to use the backup because everything blew up and all I can see is yours and Sierra's faces. So I'm just going to keep it rocking and rolling.
Perfect. Then
Love
let's
it, love it.
just wrap this up.
We're doing we're doing a lot of great things. Okay. Deliberation. So what, they had a little slice of each of the showstoppers to kind of remind themselves because there's 12. Basically they said in line for Star Baker are Flo, Sophie, and Steven all getting a point.
Yeah.
Kind of saw that coming. In trouble, not in trouble. They said Liam saved himself, so that's great. But in trouble, they said were Stacy, Peter, and Chris. So Stacy's the one who's been kind of stressed.
Flo, Sophie, and Steven in the final or in line for Star Baker means that's one for each of us, right?
One for each of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, great.
Nice. Because one for each of us. I see what you mean. Yeah, because if you got Flo, you got Sophie, Mike, and I have Steven. And then in trouble, we got Stacy, Peter, and Chris. I got both Peter and Chris. Stacy's been having some trouble, but luckily, so Star Baker goes to Steven. Yay for 2 points. He's super happy. He calls his mom, who first taught him to bake when she was 3. No, when he was 3. And then going home, unfortunately, is Peter. So goodbye to Peter. Unfortunate. I think he just had a tough episode.
Stacey. Not that I'm rooting against anyone, but just based on performance, I was like, I think Stacey's going to go home. She messed up a lot, but Peter even more so, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. Because Stacey was behind him in the technical. And he did have the baking powder in his signature, and Stacey kind of was like maybe a little bit better in the signature. And then I think Stacey's wasn't like so offensive, but like flavor wise, I don't know. It's hard, right? But yes, I do think so. He ended up going home. I think Chris was also kind of like, oh, I just stuck in by a hair. So everybody who was in the bottom definitely feels a little scared if they're moving on. Steven did cry at the end, so he gets half a point for that.
Mm-hmm.
Do love that. I don't think Peter cried, so no points there. But so let's get into these points breakdowns.
Okay.
We got 2 handshakes this episode for Steven and Sophie, 2 points each. Starting over, we had Yan, Stacy, and Chris for half a point. Helping another baker, Yan and Sophie for a point. Hands are shaking, Julia for sure for half a point, and maybe someone else. So if so, we'll come back to that. But that's what we have for now. Technical third was Julia for half a point. Technical second was James for a point. Technical first was Kate for a point and a half. In line for Star Baker, Flo, Sophie, Steven for a point each. Star Baker, Steven for 2 points. Crying Steven for half a point. And then ingredients from home was Rhubarb Guy, James, I believe.
Rhubarb
Guy. So that's James for half a point. So I will add that to my total. So that means at this time before I make any corrections next week, Cake Week, we have Iffy. You got 4 points from your team.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Flo was a big one there. Mike, you got 5.5 points.
Okay.
And I'm at 7.5 points.
Holy shit.
Steven was my big points getter this time around.
Steven.
So that's where we're at. And, we're all getting to know our teams. These are 12 new bakers to us as well. We're getting to know, what's her name? Sandi, who hates baking. And that's exciting.
It's going to be hard to watch her now knowing that in the back of my head that the whole time she's just like, this whole thing is stupid. Like, I don't appreciate people who are ungrateful to be in a position of privilege. You know what I mean? I'm like, get out of here.
I mean, maybe it's sort of like a retroactive thing where she it's like, I never liked it. But in the moment, she was actually having a good time,
That's true.
That's
true. We'll give her the benefit of the doubt.
But next week is biscuit week. So we'll be back. We'll be doing biscuits and sometimes known as cookies. And that's exciting. Any final thoughts, you two?
No, I'm hoping to be wrong about my assumption about my team, and we shall see. But so far, feeling vindicated.
Okay. All right.
Pretty good.
I was just going to say, I want to hear from our pots and pans how you feel about us covering the oldest possible season of Bake Off on Netflix. Because you voted for it, and that's what we're doing. And there's lots of other great shows that are coming up, and I'm curious to see if you're going to be watching any of those shows and wishing you had voted differently once those shows are on the air.
Nice. Any regrets? Okay.
Yeah.
But yes, can't wait to see more. Thank you. If you like this podcast, share it with someone. But also, please go to MaximumFun.org/join, where you can support us for as little as $5 a month. It really helps us out and keeps us going. If you have any thoughts or suggestions, drop us a line on Instagram at TV Chef Fantasy League and follow us. Or send us an email at chef@MaximumFun.org. If you're doing your own Great British Bake Off Fantasy League with friends, maybe do it with this one, Collection 5. Please tag us and tell us how you're doing. We have a lot of merch. Check it out at maxfunstore.com. For full unedited episodes, you can check us out on YouTube. Thanks again to my co-hosts, Mike Pabalon and Ife Nwadiwe. TV Chef Fantasy League is a Maximum Fun production. Our producer is Valerie Moffat. Our engineer is Gabe Mara. Our theme song is by Dylan Van Auken. Our artwork is by Sabrina Volante. Follow us on Instagram and YouTube at TV Chef Fantasy League.